What's going on, everybody? How we're doing out there? So I've got a little something different for you tonight. Forgive the dog chowing down in the background. Didn't really have time to wait for everything in before getting into this. So everybody's seen or if you haven't, go check it out. The unboxing where I got the giveaway prize from Ray at Everyday City Carry. And at least it kind of hits right. Pay attention to the scale color as well as the lock failure here. I guess I just wasn't locked up enough. Yeah, if you don't swing that guy open. If you just barely open it, it doesn't want to lock up on you. But anyway, it's not something that I'm too utterly concerned with. I just got to adjust that D10 a little bit and try to take care of that lock stick. Awesome knife. I like it. Again, I didn't. If it was something that I bought direct from Kizer, probably would be having a conversation with Kizer, just saying, hey, let's try to figure out. Kizer Bugai, one had the black blade hardware as the 3V, and then this one, they both had the same kind of lighter micarta on them. The black bladed one had a little bit darker, but it was still almost a tan micarta. It had some issues with lock stick, and the detent was really tight on it. But I knew this is the one I wanted to keep, so even though it had a few issues, I wanted to go ahead and kind of address a few of those. So I kind of looked at the lock bar here, and if you can see the lock bar, there's some coating wearing off of it. But that may or may not be one of the primary causes of that lock stick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of those issues. I'm going to also go ahead and take care of a little bit of the detent issue. I'm just going to pull this detent bar or the lock bar back a little bit. Try to ease some of that off, which I just did there. And the other thing I'm going to look at on this as I'm tearing it all apart is the place on the blade where the lock engages. So I'm just going to clean this up really quickly. Excuse me. And just see what I'm working with there. So if you see, everything looks clean there. Doesn't look like there's any real issues. But what there is there's a little bit of a burr right here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. There's a bit of a burr right there. So what I noticed on this knife is that if you did not open it forcefully, it wouldn't lock at all. And you can see that in the video. I sit there and kind of click it open, which isn't a normal problem with this one. Even if I just barely let it open, it locks correctly. So I knew I had a problem there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my lapping compounds that I have, and the lowest one I have on here, or the highest, I guess the highest grit or the lowest grit I have on here is a 1800 grit. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm just going to get on this lock face, and I want to get exactly how the lock face is set. So I'm just going to go on here, and I'm just going to kind of run that on that lock face and try to get rid of that burr as best I can. And it won't take long, because basically I think all it is just where there's some coating over it, and I think I've already got it, so I'm not feeling that little burr anymore. I'm still going to go ahead and try to round off this edge a little bit. I just put on a fresh lapping compound or lapping strip for this. I'll probably change it out again after doing this. So taking care of that. So hopefully that will stop the issue with the lock not engaging all the way. I'm just trying to see if I can't get this on here. Just try to take out. There we go. So here all I did was I wanted to get rid of the majority. I'm trying to get my camera to focus on it. So I just evened out the coating there. Just kind of polished it off a little bit. I don't want to get rid of it all because it might cause some issues there. So I'm just going to see, that's the kind of a quick and dirty part. I want to see if that corrects the issues. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I've got my rag here soaked in alcohol. I'm just going to go through, let me find where the spot's at. It's been a while, so it's kind of getting dry. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump y'all. Stop that for a quick second. So this is my #1 go-to cleaning thing. It's 91% alcohol. Walmart, wherever, you know, just anywhere that sells 91%. And that's what I use for cleaning just about everything with a knife. You'll find it to get rid of just about any problem that you have as far as dirt and grime. If you need something more substantial, you can use it. But I found that this works the best, at least for me anyway. I'll go ahead and clean up the threads on the pivot. The other thing about it too is it dries really quickly, so you don't have to worry about anything gumming up, or you don't have any leftovers. There's nothing left behind when you're using rubbing alcohol for a cleaner. So just cleaning off those bearings. The knife wasn't extremely dirty when I took it apart, but it was definitely, definitely had some dirt and stuff in there. So the other part of why I'm doing this is, everybody knows I'm more of a blue guy instead of a tan or anything else. So almost like a before and after. Well, let me get the scale that actually matters here. So we've got almost a midnight blue, and this will lighten up over some time, but I'll let it finish curing, and then I'll kind of rub it down with a little bit of oil, or just my natural oils will be fine too. But we can go ahead and start putting this thing back together before it gets too dry, because anybody will tell you sometimes dyeing micarta can be an issue. So let's just go ahead and get my standoffs started on here. So when doing these standoffs like this, I just do it by hand just to get them started. I don't want to have to worry about anything. So I'm checking now as I'm just making sure I'm getting everything lined up. Sorry, I keep taking it out of frame. So I just had to line up the standoffs there, and then I will go ahead and put my pivot back in. So now I've got that. I will go ahead and put my bearing down, and then good old KPL. blade. Make sure we're in that groove for the stop pin. I'm sorry, I've got a frog in my throat tonight. Can't seem to get it clear. Again, I usually put a little too much oil on those pivots when I do this, but I would rather clean off a little bit of excess and then not have to worry about it. And I put a little bit of heavy in the pivot just because it'll stay there and continue. And then I'll just do a little bit of ultralight right here in the track, just as an initial for helping with that detent pawl to kind of slide around. Alright, make sure we're in on that side. Make sure we're in down there. And this knife has T8 hardware all the way around. Oh, lost magnetization on my... Come on. Yeah, it's not want to cooperate. Well, let's see. And just in case anybody notices, you will see anytime I'm putting a screw in, I will turn it the wrong way for a couple of turns just to make sure that I have zero chance of cross threading. I'll try to magnetize this thing again real quick. And this is just a Weehaw magnetizer bit, or block, I mean. It'll also demagnetize, so hopefully. There we go. Now I got some hold. All right. Oh! About dropped it. So this I've been using here a lot here lately. It's VC3. So I will put some of this on my pivot once I get everything down together. It is reusable, but you have to let it sit for about 30 minutes before you can insert the screw. And I don't want to have to wait 30 minutes to put this knife together or start this video. Okay. Well, we took care of the lock problem. So see now, even if I just let the weight of the blade open, it locks. But I have unfortunately created another issue. Well, I don't know. It's actually not too bad. I just worry about it. Yeah, well, I mean, I have to sling it kind of hard to get it to do that. I'm going to take it back down real quick and do a little pressure on that lock bar to bring it back just a hair to get me a little more of a detent. It's a little light for me. So, go ahead and close the gates. We're going to get this done. I can get lock bar tuned and everything not working that much. Okay. That's right. Well, I'm not have to go through enough, so I might have possibly be a little pressure. That's the reason I'm going to these batteries. So I can ease up probably. And I can tighten my pivot. Okay, need a little bit more. So this is a part where I might fast forward just a little bit. But you'll see. We're going to record a lot of yes, check. Just for how long it took to get a knife, which I never on this model before. So right now I've got about that much push out. So let's try it. Give it a little bit more. I don't know if y'all can see the difference there. I do have a little bit more push out on it now, a little bit more pressure. I think that's in the assembly. Screwdriver sure doesn't want to pick them up though. There we go. Much better. A little lighter than it was. Still really easy. Still easy to get out, but definitely lighter than what it was. Nowhere near as heavy. Or excuse me. Yeah, it's nowhere near as heavy of a detent as it was, but it's better than what it was the first time I pushed it out. So now we've got an actual kind of a pop when we pull it out. And yeah, I put way too much oil on there. I've got a little bit of an oil bleed through on my scale, which it is what it is. I really don't care that I'll have a little dark spot around my pivot. But once this dries out, it'll look a lot better. I like it a lot better too. Clean up the blade here real quick. Here, let me just use my alcohol rag. So yeah, so that's kind of a crash course on, you know, if you've got too heavy of a detent, or, you know, any issues with you know, lock stick or anything like that. You know, you just usually lock stick is simple enough to just clean, and you don't have to worry about it. It's maybe just, you know, some debris or something in there. But this time, you know, just looking at it, I knew what was going on. So now I've got my 3V Bugai and my colors, blue and black, and we'll get the pocket clip put back on. So the pocket clip screws are T6s. You got one that's a little bit longer than the other. There we go. Alright, and then I will just go through and make sure everything is tight again. I can't check that screw. It ain't going back out anyway because the screw's in the way. Oh yeah, I've still got to put the Loctite on it. But much better action now. And now it drops shut again, which it wouldn't do that when I first got it. So and this one, I believe, does the same. Yep. So now they are very much the same. The action is the same in them. They both have the same detent and the same sweet action. So this one I have a feeling is very much factory fresh. The other one I think might have been carried or used a lot more. No, not necessarily used, but carried a lot more, which is fine by me. I do not care. Alright, well, I guess let me go ahead and show you guys this stuff here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pivot out, and then take this stuff here. So again, this is VC3. Let me get it up here so y'all can see it. It is a Vibratite, so it's adjustable, removable, reusable, and it handles shock and vibration really well. It's really thick. Actually, I thought it had been long enough since I'd used it, but might not. You do have to shake it up before you use it. And try to knock it back down out of the hole there. So you see it already just kind of bubbles up. after you open it. That's all it takes. And then I always take my pivot and I'll set it to the side. But the only thing I don't like about this stuff is it always just keeps running out. I don't know if it's just too much of it in the tube or what, or if it'll calm down after a while or something, but there's always extra kind of coming out as soon as I open it up. But alright, well, I will not bore y'all with waiting for that or putting that pivot back in. Y'all have seen me tighten a screw enough already. But I've got the other projects soaking away, so we'll kind of check on that. So see those in there. Yeah, it very much looks like urine, but it's a rust formula that I've used for a long time, and it works really well. You let it soak for about 8 to 12 hours. So I'll probably try to shoot that part of the video, or that video, sometime tonight, or at least part of it. But I just wanted to get this knife where I thought it should be, where it needed to be, and now it's got a home in my collection. Again, I'm not sure exactly what will be done with this one. I don't know. We'll just have to see if it ends up as part of a giveaway or something. I don't know. Poor dog over there dreaming. But all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you as always. I hope everybody's had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you have a absolutely wonderful week coming up. Today's Sunday, so hope you all have a knife day tomorrow. Take care.